Monday night lights are shining here at Ralph K. Reed Gymnasium, and there's nothing quite like rivalry basketball. Tonight, Newport Harbor welcomes in Corona Mar for the Battle of the Bay, a matchup that brings intensity, emotion, in a packed gym. Today is the last day of Sunset League play, and there's a lot on the line for both of these teams. Corona Mar could be going to the Open Division, while Newport Harbor is still trying to make a case of making the playoffs as an at-large. Newport Harbor, Corona Mar, coming up soon. Good evening, everybody. Welcome here at Newport Harbor High School for tonight's Battle of the Bay boys basketball matchup between the Newport Harbor Sails and the Corona Mar Sea Kings on the last day of Sunset League play. Taryn Rodriguez here with Mr. Josh Lee in the building. Josh, when you look at this matchup, talk to me about the energy and what this means to you.
I mean, you can feel it the second you walk into the building. It's the same thing out at the ball field, at the football field, anywhere else. You look at these games, rivalry games, they already come with an edge, but then you add league standings, playoff positioning, two programs that know each other so well, and this one really does have all the makings of being truly special.
Let's break down this matchup. Newport Harbor comes in tonight looking to make a strong case of making the CIF Southern Section playoffs as an at-large. The Sailors have been competitive all season in a tough Sunset League play, and they are still trying to find their rhythm as the postseason approaches. Newport Harbor enters with a 16-11 overall record and sits at 3-8 in league play. While they cannot finish in the top four of the Sunset League, allowing them to automatically qualify for the playoffs, the Sailors can apply for the playoffs as an at-large team. On the other side, Corona Mar has been dominant from the opening tip all season long. The Sea Kings are nearly perfect, ranked number 11 in the state via max prep, and have set the pace in Sunset League play with consistent execution on both ends of the floor. Corona Mar comes in with a 26-1 overall record and an impressive 11-0 record in league play. The crazy thing about the Sea Kings this season is that they have not lost to a team from California this season. They've won 10 of its 11 league games by double digits, and they've won 9 of its 11 league games by 20 or more points. This team could even be bound for the CIF Southern Section Open Division.
So far, history has not been kind to Newport Harbor in this rivalry lately. Last season, CDM won both meetings. Earlier this year, the Sea Kings took the first matchup in rather convincing fashion. But, as we all know, rivalry games have a way of flipping the script. For Newport Harbor, Marcel Aguilar is a player who can create offense from anywhere, whether it's pulling up from deep or attacking off the dribble. He's always making plays at the right time. Leighton Toribio, T-Rib, is another key piece. He's coming off a big night against Edison and followed it up with solid performances against Marina and Los Al. He's looking to stay hot when we get to tip-off tonight.
Earlier today, we had a chance to talk with Marcel Aguilar, talk about the rivalry and what it's going to take to compete against one of the top teams in the state of California.
Against Marina and Los Al. He's looking to stay hot when we get to tip-off tonight.
Earlier today, we had a chance to talk with Marcel Aguilar, talk about the rivalry and what it's going to take to compete against one of the top teams in the state of California.
The group dynamic this year,
Against Marina and Los Al. He's looking to stay hot when we get to tip-off tonight.
Earlier today, we had a chance to talk with Marcel Aguilar, talk about the rivalry and what it's going to take to compete against one of the top teams in the state of California.
The group dynamic this year,
He's looking to stay hot when we get to tip-off tonight.
Let's dive into our keys of the game for tonight. When it comes to the keys for Newport Harbor, the key for them will be controlling the tempo. It's going to be a tall task taking down this Corona Mar team, not going to lie. They play at a fast tempo, and they have proven to be problematic for practically every team they've faced this year. If the Sailors can value each possession, take smart shots, and dictate the pace, they give themselves a chance to stay in the game from start to finish. Keep an eye on guards Luke Mirashemi and Ryan Mansouri. They will also be crucial for the Sea Kings. Mr. Lee, what are your keys to the game and why?
For me, the key for Newport Harbor is going to be winning the effort areas. Those are the most controllable. It's the thing where it has to start. Loose balls, rebounds, defensive communication, especially off ball, they matter even more in rivalry games when things heat up. If Newport Harbor can match CDM's physicality, they can bring consistent energy for 4 quarters. They can turn this into a competitive battle, and as we all know, David versus Goliath. Here we go.
We're going to step away for a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be continuing to get you set for the tip-off between Newport Harbor and Corona Del Mar. You're watching Tar TV Sports between Battle of the Bay, Newport Harbor, Corona Del Mar, in Sunset League boys basketball. We'll be right back. Welcome. Guys, come on. Welcome into this Tar TV broadcast, Battle of the Bay Boys basketball. Chronomar won the tip, and we are underway. Here's a 3-ball from the corner. No good, as the rebound is taken in by Maxwell Scott. Sea Kings back on the attack again. Caden Sanchez over to Ryan Mansouri. Back to Sanchez. Over to Luke Mirashemi. Mirashemi driving the paint, runs into his own guy, but it works out perfectly as Scott lays it in. Maxwell Scott for 2 as Chronomar gets on the board first. Port Harbor with their first possession of the game, trying to make one final case of making the CIF Southern Section playoffs as an at-large. Here's a 3-ball from the Sailors. Got it! That is Leighton Tribio from downtown. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree as Tribio, son of head coach Bob Tribio, gets Newport Harbor their first lead of the game. Luke Mirashemi with it, down low over to Mansouri. Mansouri, no good on that one. Rebound taken in by Marcel Aguilar. Aguilar controlling the tempo over to Owen Sokola, back to Aguilar, over to Antonio Hetziris. Here's Sokola being picked up by Scott. Here's Cade Clark with it over back to Aguilar. Tribio with it. Tribio dishes it out. This is a 2-ball. Gets the friendly touch to go in as Cade Clark gets his first points of the night. Here is Mirashemi driving the paint. No good on that one. Sailors get the board. They are controlling the fast break. Hetziris recovers the loose ball. Over to Clark, back to Hetziris, over to Sokola. Sokola backing down his defender. He shoots. No good on that one. Loose ball picked up by Scott. Maxwell Scott pushing up the floor. And it's a wide open layup. No good on that one. Tribio boards that one as the Sailors look to capitalize on that miss. As Hetziris with it over to Sokola, being picked up by Scott again. Over to Aguilar, to Tribio, over to Sokola. Long 3-ball from Sokola. No good on that one. Rebound taken in by Mansouri. Mirashemi over to Mansouri. Back to Nakra. Nakra shoots. No good as Oliver Nakra will shoot 2. Foul looks like was called on Leighton Tribio. To the line is Oliver Nakra. Actually, no, non-shooting foul, so they'll take it out on the baseline. Over to Maxwell Scott. Over to Nakra. Nakra picked up by Tribio. Wild pass, recovered by Mansouri. Ball being worked around by the Sea Kings. Here is an easy layup, counted in the foul. Maxwell Scott with his second bucket, and he'll go to the line to make it 3. Marcel Aguilar is called for the foul, as Maxwell Scott will go to the line for 1. Scott being a Chronomar football player, well physical. He is not able to take advantage of the 3-point play opportunity. Ball is in the hands of Tony Hetziris. A little miscommunication here as the Sailors trying to push it up the floor. Got to get it up. And it's an 8-second violation called against the Sailors. That is something you do not want to see if you're Bob Tribio. And it looks like Sea Kings will get the ball. Mansuri thought he was taking it out on the other side, but now he's taking it out on our side. Sea Kings with it, looking to regain the lead. Mirashemi being picked up by Sokola. Over to Sanchez. Here's Nakra. Nakra driving the paint, kicks it out for a baseline jumper. That's good! Luke Mirashemi from downtown. And the Sea Kings have the lead at 7-5. Here's Hatsiris. Over to Sokola. Over to Trio. Back to Hatsiris. Hatsiris feeds it to Aguilar. Aguilar being picked up by Mirashemi. Here's the 3-ball from Clark. No good. Rebound taken in by Mansuri. That's Mirashemi with the board. Here is Mansuri, misses on that one. Here is Hatsiris, long 3-ball. Short. Rebound taken in by Sokola, and he cleans that one up. Call him Mr. Windex because he cleaned up that glass. As we are tied up at a football score of 7-7 with under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Mirashemi picked up by Sokola. Over to Scott. Feeds it to Mansuri. It's a 3-ball from Scott. Bullseye! Maxwell Scott from downtown, and he's already got 7 points as the Sea Kings lead by 3, snapping a 7-7 tie. Sailors got to get it up. They do. As here is Aguilar driving the paint. Over to Clark. No good on that one. Back come the Sea Kings again. Oh! Blocked by Sokola! What a block at the net! Long 3-ball. Bang! Antonio Hatsiris from way downtown! And the Sailors have tied it up at 10-10 with 3 minutes to go in the first.
That one was very deep,
Long
Taryn.
3-ball. In and out. Last boarded by Aguilar. Sailors will try to keep that momentum going. Here is Hatsiris. Over to Sokola. Aguilar. Hard hit has woken up. Aguilar kicked out to Sokola. Sokola got picked, but a foul. As Maxwell Scott had his hand in the cookie jar on that one.
You know, Taryn, this is kind of exactly how we said Newport needed to start it. They need to get after it on the boards, hope CDM misses some shots, and put up some of their own. So far, the role players are hitting their shots from deep.
Nolan Scott and Aiden Cole checking in for Corona Mar, checking in for Newport Harbor, Cole Hawk. As Marcel Aguilar will take this one out. 2:37 left to play. We are tied up at 10-10. Newport will take it out. Over to Hatsiris. Picked up by Nakra. Hatsiris again. Over to Hawk. Back to Clark. Trivio will line up for 3. Got it! Leighton Trivio with his second 3-ball of the game. As Newport Harbor takes a 13-10 lead as they are on a 6-0 run. Sea Kings looking to stop this bleeding here. Here's Mirashemi driving the paint. Held on by Hawk. Non-shooting foul. As Cole Hawk will be called for the foul. Coming back in for the Sailors will be Owen Sokola. Taking out Marcel Aguilar. As Mirashemi will take this ball out at the baseline. Here is Scott again, over to Mirashemi. Mirashemi looked like he got held to the 3-ball. Got it! That's Aiden Cole from downtown as the dual sport athlete who also plays boys volleyball. Ties this one up at 13-13. Here's Sokola with it. Sokola picked up by... passes it to Hatsiris. Trivia with it, over to Sokola again. Mirashemi on Sokola. Hatsiris, step back 3-ball. No good. Rebound taken in by Nakra. Sea Kings had the momentum, but they slowed it down. Another 3-ball for Cole. No good. Rebound taken in by Hawk. Sokola with the ball. Passes it to the other side. Trivio thought about a 3. Here's Hawk. Deflected. Is that deflected? What's the call? It is, looks like one call is, official call is last touch by Corona Mar as Sailors will have the ball still.
That was a good correction, Taryn.
Yeah, I had a feeling I saw a touch. Small fragment touch. Aguilar will take it out over to Hatziris. Hatziris driving the paint. Over to Toribio. He'll try another three. No good. Rebound taken in. Fought for by Cole. Back come the Sea Kings again. Here comes Scott. Picked up by Trivio. Mirashemi drives the paint. Kicks it out to the baseline for a three ball. No good. Rebound taken in by Aguilar as we are under a minute to play in the first quarter. Here's Sokola. Thought about it. Feeds it to Hatziris. Over to Aguilar. Aguilar thinking about it. Dribbling. Errant pass out of bounds. Last touch by Newport Harbor. Checking in for Chrono Mar will be Jude Snyder. Also checking in for Newport Harbor will be Cade Clark. 3 second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Chrono Mar will have it. Looking to break this 13-13 tie. Cole being picked up by Clark. The chess match here. Clark practically hugging his man defensively. Sokola now hugging his man defensively as Mirashemi with it. 10 seconds to get a shot off. And a foul is called. Which means now with the foul, that means that Chrono Mar will hold for the final shot. Marcel Aguilar called for his second personal foul, fourth team foul on the Sailors. Taken out will be Mirashemi with 9.7 seconds left. Here's the drive. Maxwell Scott lays it up and in as Newport Harbor will try to get one final shot off, but it's a backcourt trap, but a foul as there's 1.1 seconds left. Maxwell Scott with 9 points early on for the Sea Kings. On a team with Luke Mirashemi and Ryan Mansouri, you have Maxwell Scott stepping up. Sailors will try to get one final look. They do so with Sokola. Long three ball. No good. That was probably a foot off as we are at the end of the first quarter. Chrono Mar leads 15-13 after one. So we'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the second quarter. You're watching Tar TV Sports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Are we back? Are we back? Guys, are we back? Bro. Welcome back into the broadcast of Tar TV Sports. Here, as we had Marcel Aguilar with it, missing the shot, as rebound is taken in by Luke Mirashemi. Mirashemi dribbled it up the court slow. Feeds it to Sanchez in Nakra. Couldn't handle it as ball is out of bounds. Newport Harbor possession. Newport Harbor will push up the court, led by as many as 3 in the first quarter. Had themselves some good moments. This is the type of effort they need if they want to impress the selection committee for selection Saturday or Sunday. So here's a runner by Hatziris. Got it! Tony Hatziris with another basket as he's up to 5 points, matching his jersey number. We're knotted up at 15-15. Here's Mansouri. Here is Nakra. Nakra with it, driving. Count it, and the foul! First basket of the night for Oliver Nakra, and he will go to the line for a 3-point play. Checking back in for Chronomar will be Maxwell Scott as Nakra will go to the line for one more. Nakra makes it 3 the hard way as he completes the 3-point play. Aguilar has the ball over to Sokola. Sokola dishes it to Trivio over to Aguilar. Aguilar will line up a 3. Bullseye! First points of the game for Marcel Aguilar as he ties this one up at 18 apiece. Here's Mansouri taking it up the court. Over to Jude Snyder. Ball's now in the possession of Sanchez. Sanchez over to Nakra. Nakra will line up a 3. It's good! Oliver Nakra from downtown as he's got his first points of the game as Sea Kings now up by 3.
And you know, Taryn, that's about 3 possessions in a row. On-ball help defense has not really been there for the Sailors. Hopefully they get that turned around. They're starting to hit some shots.
Sea Kings have made 4 3-pointers so far as that ball is out of bounds as the chair was pulled right from under him. As Sea Kings will have the ball. And Surrey taking it out over to Mirashemi. Mirashemi picked up by Sokola. Here's Scott. Back to Mirashemi. Back to Scott. Picked up by Aguilar. Scott tried to put a little too much hot sauce on that taco. Here's Nakra with it. Here is Mirashemi for 3. No good. Rebound taken in by Clark. Here comes Trivia with it. Over to Aguilar. Back to Hatziris. Sokola picked up by Mirashemi. Here's Hatziris with it. Long 3-ball. Way off. Maxwell Scott rebounds that one. Scott, full head of steam. No good. Ball is corralled but out of bounds as the Sailors give it back to the Sea Kings.
You know, that shot for Tony is what we used to call a little heat check right there. And unfortunately, it did not go down.
Mirashemi will take the ball out. Ball is mishandled, taken away by Trivio. Hatziris going to push it up the floor. Under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Long 3-ball. No good. Rebound taken in by Sanchez. Mirashemi with it. Like Sanchez kind of bumped into a Newport Harbor player. Here's Nakra going to Sanchez. And it's an easy lay-in from Mirashemi as that's his 5th point of the game. And CDM leads by 5. Aguilar over to Clark for 3. No good. Shots are not going in for the Sailors as Sea Kings will push it up the floor. Thought about it as Mansouri kicks it out to Sanchez for 3. No good on the long 3-ball. Rebound taken in by Hatziris. Hatziris almost went back and forth. Clark with it over to Sokola, picked up by Mirashemi as we're halfway through the second quarter. Over to Aguilar, to Clark. Sokola with 15 on the shot clock. Here's Trivio over to Aguilar. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Trivio took a spill. And a foul is called as Mansouri is the guilty culprit, as Newport Harbor will take it out. Coming in for Corona Del Mar will be Nolan Scott as he replaces Mansouri.
Yeah, Newport Harbor got bailed out a little bit late in the shot clock on that foul on an Aguilar drive. The bigger issue for Newport Harbor is when they're taking these deep shots and they're missing, they're opening up transition offense for CDM, who loves to go fast. And it's burnt us here in the last couple minutes.
It's a non-shooting foul, so Newport Harbor should be taking it out as Hatsiris will take it out. Sokola gets it to go.
Beautiful job
What a
by
tip
Owen.
drill right there as Newport Harbor needed that one. Here's Nakra with it, kicking it out to Sanchez. Back to Nakra, step back three. No good. Rebound fought for Corral. Oh, no good on the layup. He was a little too excited as Maxwell Scott got the offensive glass but just couldn't put it back. And a whistle here. Looks like we have a little bit of housekeeping to take care of as the ball was a little slippery. Newport Harbor will take it out courtesy of Aguilar. 3:09 to play in the second quarter. Corona Del Mar 23, Newport Harbor 20. Here's Clark with it, picked up by Scott. Clark with it, feeds it over to Aguilar. 15 on the shot clock. Sokola back to Hatsiris. Back to Aguilar. Bad pass taken away by Mirashemi. Nakra with it. Step back three ball. Got it! Oliver Nakra starting to feel it as he's got 9 points all in this quarter as the Sea Kings lead by 6. Aguilar picked up by Scott. Sokola with it, picked up by Mirashemi. Sokola trying to drive on him. Step back three ball from Sokola. No good. Rebound taken in by Sanchez. Corona Del Mar trying to push the tempo over to Mirashemi. Mirashemi thought about a pass. Now he's in a bind. Sea Kings get him out of the bind. And Jason Simcoe will call timeout. 2:10 remaining in this contest, and it looks like it's a 30-second timeout, so we'll be back sooner rather than later. But so far for Corona Del Mar, they have made 5 3-pointers. Newport Harbor has made 4 3-pointers, surprisingly. But we have seen only a 6-point deficit for the Sailors, as Corona Del Mar trying to do what they haven't done since Pacific Coast League play and go undefeated. I think the last time they were undefeated was probably 2015 when they went to the CIF Finals, which that was a legendary run right there. Lost to Beverly Hills that year. Corona Del Mar looking to replicate that year and then some. They have aspirations to go to the CIF Southern Section Open Division playoffs where they'll face the elite of the elite. But to do so, they're going to need to put a stamp of approval with this win. Meanwhile, for Newport Harbor, they're trying to make a convincing case to make the CIF Southern Section playoffs as an at-large in general. Arena also trying to finish tied for 4th as we're back in action here. Here's Nolan Scott over to Mirashemi, over to Nakra. He's feeling it for 3-ball. No good. Rebound fought forward, taken in by Clark as we are under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Cade Clark with it. Sokola now with the ball, being picked up by Mirashemi yet again. You'll see this matchup quite a bit. 2 of the best players on both squads. Here is Hatsiris. Hatsiris picked up by Nakra. Trivio lines up for 3. Way off. Rebound taken in by Nolan Scott. Nakra couldn't corral it as that ball is out of bounds. Aiden Cole back in for Corona Del Mar as taking it out will be Marcel Aguilar. 1:25 remaining in the second quarter before halftime. Feels like this quarter's flown by as Sokola will have it. Pass it to Hatsiris. Back to Sokola.
Dangerous pass.
Could have been backcourt. Newport Harbor fans wanting a foul. Simcoe and Co. wanting a backcourt violation. Long three ball from Hatziris. Got it! Tony Hatziris with one of his signature threes as Newport Harbor only trails by 3. He's got 8 points to lead the Sailors as we are under a minute to go in the second quarter. Here's Scott over to Cole. Over to Mirashemi. Mirashemi going over and under, and he gets it to go. Sailors with an 11-second differential between game and shot clock. Oh no,
that's got to be
by Aguilar.
down.
Here is Mirashemi, lays it up and in. As that is point number 9 for Mirashemi, as Newport Harbor will line up for the final shot. Corona Del Mar playing their infamous backcourt trap, as here is Aguilar with it. Over to Hatziris. Hatziris over to Tribio. Aguilar with it, being played by Nolan Scott. Aguilar finds a wide open Clark. Got it!
That was very good ball movement.
Here comes
there,
Corona Del Mar with it. Long three ball. Ew, no good. Mirashemi would have had 12 on that one, but that'll do it. We are at halftime, and surprisingly, Newport Harbor staying super competitive with Corona Del Mar, only down 30-25 as we are at the halftime break. What have you liked so far, Josh?
Well, I mean, it's hard not to like Tony's shots from deep. You know, they may not look like they're going in all the time, but boy, is he hitting it from all over the court. I've also liked the ability to push it up, fast pace. Leighton Toribio's hit some threes as well, so Newport Harbor shooting with the best of them. The biggest thing they got to clean up is that defense.
Corona Del Mar has 3 different players with 9 points. Meanwhile, for Newport Harbor, they're led by Antonio Hatziris with 8 points. So we'll take ourselves a quick commercial break, halftime break. When we come back, we will have the second half between Newport Harbor and Corona Del Mar. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. You are watching Tar TV Sports Battle of the Bay Boys Basketball. See you soon. Welcome back to Tar TV Sports broadcast of Battle of the Bay Boys basketball between Newport Harbor and Corona Del Mar. Sea Kings lead the Sailors 30-25 in what has been a competitive game. Newport Harbor has kept up with not only the best team in the Sunset League, but the best team in the state. Or one of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, they sure have. They've hit big shots from deep. They've gotten some timely rebounds, and they've been able to break the press after the beginning of the game where they struggled with it a little early on an 8-second clock. They've been able to break it so far and get some open shots. So here we go.
Sea Kings will take the ball as they start this second quarter. They had 3 different players with 9 points, being Mirashemi, Nakra, and Scott. As here's Maxwell Scott getting the first points of the second half, as he's up to 11 points. First player to crack double digits from either team. As Sokola with it going over to Aguilar. Back to Sokola. Over to Clark. Clark thought about it. Picked up by Sanchez. Here's Sokola over to Aguilar. Picked up by Maxwell Scott. Here's a 3-ball. Got it! Cade Clark from downtown as he's up to 7 points. Back comes Corona Del Mar again. Here comes Scott over to Mansouri, over to Mirashemi. Mirashemi to Sanchez. To Nakra. Nakra driving the paint. No good on the finger roll. Rebound taken in by Aguilar. Newport Harbor could cut this to a single deficit, single possession game. Clark practically being hugged defensively. Here's Hatziris being picked up by Nakra. Over to Sokola. Clark to Tribio. Here's Sokola backing down his defender. He'll shoot. And he'll score. As it's down to a 2-point game here as the Sailors are on a 5-0 run. Sokola up to 6 points. Mirashemi advances it to Mansouri. Over to Mirashemi. Here is Nakra bumped, as that's going to be a foul on Sokola. It's the right call. There was quite a bit of contact on that one.
Yeah, that last Sailor possession where Owen drove into the lane, created a shot, got his own separation. That's what Sailor fans have been waiting for all night. It was good to see him get into the paint and sink a jump back, step back shot.
Mirashemi will take it out. As he passes his one up to Maxwell Scott. No good on that one as Sokola boards the miss. Newport Harbor can tie or take the lead here. Hatziris picked up by Nakra. Over to Aguilar, back to Sokola. This time he's picked up by Maxwell Scott. Tribio picked up by Sanchez. Aguilar picked up by Mirashemi. Aguilar drives the paint, and he gets it. And just like that, we are tied as Corona Del Mar has quickly gotten back up the court. Here's Scott. Lost it for a moment. Got it, and the foul. Maxwell Scott had the game, and he has a chance for a 3-point play opportunity. As Aguilar is called for the foul.
Yeah, I don't like the timing of that call, Taryn. I'm just going to be honest with you. If there was a foul committed there, it could have been at any time in the previous 3 seconds. They chose to call it in the act of shooting, and there's a 3-point play for CDM.
Maxwell Scott completes the 3-point play opportunity as he is up to 16 points for the Sea Kings, leading every score here. Sokola with it. Over to Clark, picked up by Sanchez. Here's Tribio. Hatziris over to Clark. Back to Aguilar. Aguilar driving the paint. Over to Tribio. Long 3-ball. No good. Rebound taken in by Sanchez. Here come the Sea Kings. Mirashemi with it. Mansouri back to Mirashemi. Mirashemi finds a wide open Sanchez. Mirashemi played by Sokola. Mansouri gets bumped a little, no foul. Mansouri kicks it back to Sanchez. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nakra with it. Nakra will try a 3-ball. No good. Rebound taken in by Sokola.
That was very good switch defense by the Sailors there.
Ball is stolen by Scott. Scott driving the paint. No good on the layup. Aguilar will take it up. Sailors with numbers, but they'll slow it down here to calm everything down. Hatsiris with it. Back to Aguilar. We have a pair of Sea King subs coming in. Next dead ball possession. Here's Clark being played by Mansouri. Mansouri playing really good defense, but Clark splits him and gets the bucket. He's up to 9 points as the Sea Kings will go right back offensively. Here's Mirashemi to Mansouri. Mansouri over to Mirashemi again. Newport Harbor fans on their feet. Mirashemi getting hugged defensively by Sokola. No good. Tried to do a little too much, but just a little too much. As loose ball out of bounds, last touch by the Sailors. Aiden Cole and Nolan Scott back in. As coming out will be Caden Sanchez and Rand Mansouri.
Well, Cade Clark is doing a heck of a job on the defensive and offensive end tonight here at Tarrant. He might be having himself a little legacy game in the last Sunset League game.
He leads all of Newport Harbor with 9 points. If you had that on your bingo card, take a bow. Mirashemi taking it out over to Nakra. Pops it over to Nolan Scott. To Maxwell. Over to Cole. To Mirashemi. Thought about it. Now he's going to drive the paint. Mirashemi held on. And it's a foul on Clark.
Let's go!
That's actually going to be a shooting foul. So first foul on Clark, as shooting the ball will be Luke Mirashemi for 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear that there was a whole lot of contact on that play, but it looked like about 4 steps before he ever got a shot off. So, guess that's
that definitely looks like a shooting foul. So my apologies on that. So Luke Mirashemi has cracked double digits as that was his 10th point. Second behind Maxwell Scott. Free throw. No good. As Sailors will take the board, courtesy of Sokola. Hatsiris with it, being picked up by Nakra. Back to Hatsiris. Trivia with it. Back to Sokola. Sailors only down 2. Sokola fighting his way in and out. Rebound taken in by Nolan. Sokola tried to pick it. Here's Mirashemi, full head of steam, no good. Rebound taken in by Clark, and a foul is called on the Sea Kings.
You know what? That last Newport Harbor possession, that's still a good offensive possession for them. Owen got into the paint. He got a good shot off. It didn't go, but it set up the rest of Newport Harbor's defense there. They get a foul called.
Looks like the foul is called on Nolan Scott as Aguilar will take it out. Hatsiris will advance it up the court with less than 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Sokola setting the screen. Sokola now with it, being picked up by Nakra. Step back, thought about it. Here's Hatsiris over to Toribio. Hatsiris thought about it, going to Clark. Stifling defense by the Sea Kings, but a foul. The foul is called on Oliver Nakra. His first foul, personally. Second team foul on the Sea Kings this quarter. Here's Hatsiris, thought about a 3, being picked up by Nakra. Hatsiris played by Maxwell Scott. Sokola picked up by Mirashemi. Sokola driving the paint. Oh, what a layup by Owen Sokola! And Bob Trivia will call timeout as we are knotted up at 36 apiece. For those wondering why Trivia calls timeout, it's to sustain the momentum and keep it going just so the opposing team doesn't have a fast break.
And that's exactly what we need. We need Big Owen getting aggressive, headed to the paint, taking it to the Sea Kings.
Sokola with 8 points. All 5 Newport Harbor starters have 5 or more points. This has been one heck of an effort from Newport Harbor. Sailors came in having lost 2 straight, lost a heartbreaker on their senior night 5 days ago against Marina, And then last Friday, they lost on the road to Los Alamitos, which I think they'd rather forget about that one.
Yeah, you know, the good news, Taryn, though, is every game's a little bit different. And with the expectations for this game, it feels like the longer that this thing stays close, the more it actually favors the Sailors, given the expectations coming into it. So if the Sailors can keep this close, headed in halfway through the fourth quarter, there's a real chance here, and that's what rivalry games are all about.
A win here would definitely turn the eyes of the committee in terms of allowing Newport Harbor into the playoffs as an at-large. Chronomar trying to make the playoffs in the open division. The loss would not do them any favors, as Mirashemi will slowly advance it up the court with 2 minutes and change remaining in this third quarter. Over to Cole. Here's Maxwell. Scott lost the handle. Ball is still loose.
Great effort
picked up by Sokola and taken away by Aguilar. 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. We are tied up at 36. Sokola with it. Trying to go inside the paint. Finds a wide open Clark. Newport Harbor has the lead. And Cade Clark becomes the first Newport Harbor Sailor to crack double digits as he is up to 11 points. Cole, down low, stolen by Trivio. Good defense by the Sailors as Newport Harbor will take it a little slow as we are down to 90 seconds in this third quarter.
Just find a way to get that ball back into Owen's hands and get him going, attacking the paint.
Here's Aguilar, full head of steam. He's got it! Sailors doing everything possible. Ball picked away, stolen. Fast break, Newport Harbor. Aguilar lays it in. Turn those sprinkler systems on. Newport Harbor is on fire. Timeout, Corona Del Mar. Biggest lead of the night for Newport Harbor. What a game we are seeing here. Newport Harbor leads 42-36 with 1:09 remaining in this third quarter. Here's an instant replay, fast break, and this is what Newport Harbor needs to do in order to win this game. Again, a win would really help Newport Harbor's chances of making the playoffs as an at-large. Chronomar trying to make the playoffs, trying to get into the open division. Jason Simcoe said on record he wants to be in the open division. He loves the challenge. He wants the Sunset League to be in this open division. Sunset League has not had a team in the open division since Los Alamitos back in 2017, back when they had players like Jacob Iman, Iyasu Worku, just to name a few. That Los Alamitos team was really good back then. Tar Pit fired up here. Hopefully they'll be on their leash here, like they, unlike a time a few weeks ago. But we don't talk about that. Anyway, time in as we are down to a minute and change remaining in this third quarter. Chronomar going to try to go for a 2-for-1 here. They get a basket and work the clock to their advantage. They can get another basket for the final shot. Here's Nakra with it. Got a screen. Nakra over to Mansouri. Mansouri over to Nolan. Scott to Scott. Maxwell down low to Nolan. Ball is poked away. Taken away by Hatsiris. And the defense from Newport Harbor has been like Brink's home security. Aguilar picked up by Mirashemi. Clark being played by Maxwell. Ball being taken away by Nakra, stolen by Maxwell Scott. Maxwell going to take it up the paint, lays it up and in, and that is what Chronomar needed as Newport Harbor will play for the final shot. Sokola being played by Nolan Scott. Sokola. Hatsiris being played by Nolan Scott. Loose ball out of bounds, last touch by the Sea Kings, and Jason Simcoe does not agree with the call, and as well as the other CDM fans. Here's Aguilar with 6.2 seconds remaining. Sokola picked up by Nolan, and looks like the ball is out of bounds. Or correction, Newport Harbor was out of bounds. So back-to-back turnovers from the Sailors, not ideal after leading by 6. Chronomar has the final shot. Here's Nakra with it, full head of steam. He is fouled, Was that
Smart
in the
play.
active shooting? As Leighton Tribio calls for the foul. Looks like it's not in the active shooting. Thankfully for Newport Harbor's sake, they were not in the penalty, but they're at the limit. The ball not in the foul not in the active shooting. Well before that, as Nakra with it. Nakra gonna take it out. Here's Mirashemi, 3-ball. Way off. Ball does not count as that shot came after the horn, as we'll go into the fourth quarter with Newport Harbor up 42-38. As we'll take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the fourth quarter of Battle of the Bay Boys basketball. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Thanks, man. We tried to. We're back here with the fourth quarter of action between Newport Harbor and Corona Del Mar. Tony Hetziris with it, being played by Oliver Nakra. Seeking's going to be playing a lot of stifling defense here. Might even see a few backcourt traps. Tribio. Ball's taken away by Nolan Scott. Sokola on him. Oh, blocked by Sokola! Here's Mirashemi, but a foul. As Tribio stops the easy lay-in, but is whistled for the foul. Actually, correction, that is Sokola with the blocking foul, as that's his second.
That was pretty unbelievable defense there by Sokola, though. He came down, made a huge block, didn't get any box outs from his teammates, came across the paint, almost got another block, just caught up with a foul, and here we go.
Mirashemi with 11 points so far. Second leading scorer behind Maxwell Scott. This will cut it to 2, and he gets it. Mirashemi with a dozen points for Corona Del Mar. We are going to see some backcourt trap from the Sea Kings. Newport Harbor nursing a 2-point lead here after leading by as many as 6. Sea Kings have really stepped up defensively. Has been their style here. Hetziris nearly got wrapped up. Ball poked away. Tribio with it. Here's Aguilar for 3. Oh, way off. CDM with it. Passes it over to Maxwell Scott. Lays it in, and we are tied. As just like that, the Sea Kings, just when we all thought they were down, they come back up. Here's Hetziris over to Sokola. Sokola being played by Maxwell Scott. Sokola over to Hetziris. And this ball is poked away. Recovered by Aguilar. Newport Harbor's going to need to get it back up front. Hetziris over to Tribio. Hetziris thought about a long 3, but he's got only 3 seconds left. Hetziris, rainbow 3-ball that hit the rim, so reset of the shot clock, but Corona Del Mar has a chance to take the lead on a 6-0 run here. Here's Mirashemi. Mirashemi played by Sokola. This has been the matchup of the night. 2 of the best players on each team. Mirashemi. First we get a timeout from Jason Simcoe. 30-second timeout. 6:03 remaining. Tied up at 42 apiece. The Sea Kings trying to win this game capping off an undefeated run in the Sunset League. They have not had an undefeated run in the Sunset League. Last time they went undefeated in league play was 2015-16 when they were in the Pacific Coast League. I think that year they went to the CIF finals. Actually, I think it was 2014-15. My apologies. Either way, it was one of those years. Chronomar went all the way to the CIF finals, lost to Beverly Hills. But a massive, amazing run. Back when they had Ryan Schachter as their head coach, Jason Simcoe was their assistant. Now he's taken over as head coach after an amazing run from Schachter. We are back in action here with Mansouri taking it out over to Mirashemi. 2 minutes have passed in this final quarter of regulation. Here's Maxwell Scott. Over to Nolan Scott. Over to Nakra. Nolan gets fouled. Newport Harbor fans not happy with that, but they have a lot to not be happy about, as that's a foul on Sokola? Looks like they signaled foul on Aguilar. Anyway, shooting 2 free throws is Nolan Scott. No good on the first one. Caden Sanchez back in for Corona Del Mar. As going out will be Ryan Mansouri. It's Nolan Scott going to try to give the Sea Kings the lead here. Misses both. Aguilar boards the miss. Newport Harbor still tied with Chrono Mar. Sokola over to Toribio. Clark over to Aguilar. Aguilar picked up by Mirashemi. Back out to Toribio. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Ball poked away, stolen by Mirashemi. Mirashemi at the paint, and he lays it in. Sea Kings on an 8-0 run as Newport Harbor has not scored ever since the third quarter. Late in the third quarter. Hatsiris over to Aguilar. Aguilar full head of steam, gets fouled. And he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, the Sea Kings have tightened up their defense, including putting number 2 Nolan Scott on Owen Sokola. It's made quite a difference since the end of the third quarter.
Foul is called on Luke Mirashemi, as shooting 2 is Marcel Aguilar with 9 points. Make that 10. That snaps a long drought for the Sailors, as they needed that point in the worst way. 5:01 remains. Sea Kings up 1. Second free throw for Aguilar. In and out. And Sea Kings will still have the lead.
That's a tough break.
In and out like a fast food restaurant. Sanchez over to Nakra. Nakra driving the paint, full head of steam.
That's got to be a push-off. My goodness.
Over Nakra with 10 points. Third Sea Kings to crack double digits as the Sea Kings stretch their lead to 3. Hatsiris over to Sokola. Nolan Scott on him. Ball poked away. Sokola recovers. Here's Sokola, count it, and the foul! As that'll be a chance for a 3-point play opportunity. As Sokola cracks double digits, as that's his 10th point of the game, as the Johns Hopkins commit will try to make it through.
That's what we used to call a buy one, get one free at the flop store right there. 2 flops for the price of 1.
Sokola will go to the line for 1 more. Looks like the foul was called on Caden Sanchez. Tried to take the blocking foul, the charge, but the credit card was denied. As we're going to get some housekeeping here. Getting that perspiration off the floor. Needed to get the brute, we're going to get another towel. Where's that mop that we had back in the old days? 4:21 remaining. Leading Newport Harbor in points so far is Cade Clark with 11 points. You also got Marcel Aguilar and Owen Sokola with 10 each. Maxwell Scott leading all of CDM, but with Luke Mirashemi behind him. Now that the perspiration's out of the way, we could go back to play. Shooting one will be Owen Sokola. Sokola for the lead. No! Sea Kings will board the miss, and CDM will continue to have the lead with 4 minutes and change left. Nakra over to Maxwell. Maxwell shoots off the back iron, no good. Rebound taken in by Mansouri. Nakra for 3. No good. Rebound bobbled, taken in by Mansouri. Boards are Newport getting killed on the boards here. Layup, no good, but a foul. As Sokola looks like the guilty culprit. Actually, it looks like that's Aguilar.
It's going to be his fourth.
Actually, that is Owen's fourth foul. So foul is officially called on Owen Sokola. So more perspiration. Even though the official did signal 25. Okay, so the foul is officially called on Marcel Aguilar. So a little mixed up here, but Marcel Aguilar is called for the foul. As Bob Trivial will call timeout. It's like Newport Harbor's going to try to ice the free throw shooter here. Not the first time we've seen that from Bob Trivio. So Corona Omar has come in red hot. Won 10 of their 11 league games by double digits. Won 9 of their 11 league games by 20 or more points. They haven't had a real clunker game since the Los Alamitos game, where they played probably 3 or 4 weeks ago at Los Alamitos, where they wound up inching their way to a 1-point win. Other than that, it's been domination in the Sunset League by the Sea Kings, which we have probably not seen in a minute.
Yeah, and with CDM's size and athleticism, shot-making ability, and their quality defense when they decide to, who knows how this box score ends up looking at the end, but if the CIF selection committee's taking note, this is a pretty darn good case for Newport Harbor, keeping up with one of the best teams in the state of California.
Here's Mirashemi at the line, shooting 2. 14 points for Mr. Mirashemi. He'll make that 15. See if Mirashemi can make it a 3-point game for the Sea Kings. And the heart and soul of this team for the most part. And he's at up to 16 points as CDM back up by 3 with under 4 minutes to go in regulation. Hatsiris advances it. Long 3-ball from Hatsiris. No good. Rebound by Clark. Poked over to Trivio. Aguilar with it. Sokola wanting for the ball, but Aguilar is going to take it himself. Open 3 for Clark. Bang!
Bang!
Cade Clark from downtown. Tied up at 48. Mirashemi with it over to Nakra. Mansouri to Sanchez. Nakra with it. Nakra splits the defender, and he lays it in. Where was the defense on that one? So much wide open terrain as Aguilar kicks it back to Trivio, back to Aguilar. 3 minutes and change and counting. Here's Aguilar driving the paint, blocked for the foul.
Ooh.
Caden Sanchez thought he had all ball, but looks like he got a piece of the wrist.
Hey, you know what? There's been about 5 of those going against Newport Harbor, and it's okay for every once in a while the other side of the coin to flip. Ooh.
Sanchez's second foul as Aguilar will shoot 2.
Yeah, that looked like a nice block. But hey, I guess the ball don't lie. Free throw goes in.
Bottom line, I'm glad we're not the officials, because they have a tough game to call as Aguilar is up to 11 points. And Aguilar knocks this one up at 50-50 as he's up to 12 points now. Less than 3 minutes to go in regulation. CDM Newport Harbor dueling on the last day of Sunset League play. Scott to Mirashemi. Nolan Scott lining up for three. He's got it! Nolan Scott from downtown. First points of the game, and it couldn't have come at a better time for the Sea Kings. Aguilar. Picked up by Mirashemi. Aguilar thought about going to Clark. Clark over to Trivio. Trivio thought about a three. Back to Aguilar. Aguilar driving the paint, loses the ball, stolen by Mansouri, and a layup for Nakra. And that is something you don't want to see for Newport Harbor, as points off turnovers have been killer for the Sailors. And another turnover, this time by Nolan Scott again. Mansouri thought about it, gonna feed to Mirashemi. 2 minutes to go in this contest. CDM up 5 in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, number 2, Nolan Scott, is playing some inspired defense here in the second half.
Mirashemi picked up by Cade Clark. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sea Kings trying to drain the clock, work it to their advantage. Oh, and not what the Sea Kings wanted, as Nolan Scott was not ready for that pass. It's like taking a hot potato out of the microwave and fumbling it on your hand. And it looks like we have more housekeeping. This gym can get hot and sweaty, as we got some perspiration on the court yet again. Getting everybody here when it comes to cleaning out up the floor. Gonna get a petition to get a mop here. We had one of those basketball mops. Thank you to one of our own for helping clean up the perspiration. Now, let's finish this game. 90 seconds remaining. Owen Sokola inbounding it to Hetziris. Here is Sokola over to, picked up by Nolan Scott. Sokola with it. Sokola backing into the paint. Shot altered. Taken away by Mansouri. Mirashemi with it. Mirashemi, full head of seed. Nakra for three. No good. Rebound taken in by Mansouri. Sea Kings have a lot of time they could drain off here, leaving Newport Harbor with practically nothing. Mirashemi picked up by Clark. Sea Kings up 5 with under a minute to go. Time is on the Sea Kings side. They could even take the shot clock violation and then leave Newport Harbor with only 35 seconds. 7 to shoot. Mirashemi finds the open paint. That might do it. Simcoe calls timeout. 7-0 run for the Sea Kings, and that might have been the dagger right there. Sea Kings up 57-50. Remember when it was 50-50? It felt like an eternity ago. Let's just look at this instant replay. Look at Mirashemi fooling the defense, laying it on thick like icing on a cake. As Sea Kings are on their way to an undefeated run in the Sunset League. Haven't had one of those in over a decade. Looks like that was Sam Healy firing up the Sea King Nation. Inbounding it will be Leighton Shribio. All Sailors can do is hope for a miracle here and play the foul game. Here's Clark. Kicks it out to Trivio for three. No good. And it looks like the Sailors are going to be playing the foul game, and the Sea Kings, all they just need to do is play smart And they will have the undefeated Sunset League title in their grasp. It was Hawk's second foul, under 30 seconds to go, as Mansouri takes it out over to Nakra, and it's going to be the foul game, as that will put Newport Harbor in the penalty. Foul's called on Hatziris. The shooting 2 for Corona Mar will be Mr. Oliver Nakra. Nakra having himself a pretty solid game, 14 points on the night. Make it 15. Back in for the Sailors, Marcel Aguilar. And back in for Corona Mar soon will be Nolan Scott, as Nakra makes the second, putting him at 16 points. Checking in for the Sea Kings will be Nolan Scott for Caden Sanchez. Once again, Newport Harbor going to need a Houston Rockets Tracy McGrady miracle. Hatziris over to Sokola. Sokola going to go in and get fouled. Sokola will try to make this one a little more respectable for Newport Harbor. Newport Harbor hung tough with this Sea King team. Unless a massive miracle happens, Sea Kings are going to go undefeated in Sunset League play, but not without an amazing effort from the Sailors. No good on that one. Sokola still at 10 points. Here was the previous shot. Caden Sanchez will go back in for CDM, and Sokola nails the second free throw. So that puts Sokola at 11 points. One of three Sailors in double digits. And we'll see if Corona Mar will go for one more basket or if they'll just hatch it. I think they're going to do the respective thing and hatch it, even though this will be the first time they haven't beaten a Sunset League Co by double digits since Los Alamitos. But that'll do it. Corona Mar beats Newport Harbor 59-51 in what was an amazing league game, as the Sea King Nation will be storming the court as they have completed an undefeated run in the Sunset League. First time in over 10 years we have seen an undefeated run in league from the Sea Kings. It's nothing but Sea King Navy Blue, but nothing but respect from both of these teams. Sea Kings finished the game off on a 9-1 run, as both teams will be lining up for good sportsmanship. At the end of the day, it's only a game. Sea Kings, I know Sea Kings want to go back to celebrating. Nothing but love here from both of these teams, as the Sea King students are on the court. As we'll go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll hopefully have a post-game interview, and we'll be closing this one out. Keep it locked here. You're watching TAR TV Sports. See you soon. Welcome back into the final score broadcast of Battle of the Bay Boys basketball between Newport Harbor and Corona Del Mar. Sea Kings wound up winning 59-51, but not without an outstanding effort from Newport Harbor. It was 50-50 at one point, but the Sea Kings held Newport Harbor scoreless without a field goal in the last 3 minutes of the game. Closed out on a 9-1 run. Taryn Rodriguez here with Mr. Josh Lee here. Josh, you feel for these Sailors. Put forth maybe their best game of the season, even though it was a loss against one of the best teams in the state, and now their fate is in the hands of the selection committee. What do you think is going through the minds of the Sailors right now?
Well, I got to say, regardless of how this game turned out, it was always going to be out of their hands, right? So it's always going to be in the hands of the selection committee. But at the end of the day, they have nothing to hang their heads about. They took on one of the top 10 teams in the state, and they came up just short. They did have them, like you said, tied with about 3 minutes to go. There were some unsung heroes too, right? So there were guys that stepped up that maybe weren't to be expected. And they did a heck of a job. The tar pit showed up. The home crowd advantage was pretty clear. But at the end of the day, CDM had a whole bunch of size, a whole lot of length, a whole lot of hustle, and that just kind of overwhelmed the Sailors at the end of the day.
This is what CDM does in terms of their defense. They play lockdown defense, have backcourt traps. They just pressurize you into making turnovers and mistakes. But Newport Harbor, like you said, they put forth maybe the best game of their season, and they have nothing to hang their hats over. I'm hoping for their sake that the selection committee does put them through, because they were one of 2 teams that did not lose by double digits in the Sunset League. The other was Los Alamitos, who is going to finish second in the Sunset League. But for Newport Harbor, they make a strong case to making the playoffs. They have a win over Servite, which obviously Trinity League team. They have a win over Edison, which is pretty solid as well. They've won a tournament this year. They wound up beating San Clemente. They've beaten a few other teams here and there, like Warren. So if I'm the selection committee, I have to really put my thinking cap on with this Newport Harbor team, because last year Newport Harbor got into the playoffs, wound up winning in a barn burner first round game. This Sailor team can be dangerous going into the playoffs. For their sake, knock on wood that they get in.
Let's hope so. I mean, especially if you consider some of their losses in the Sunset League, they were really, really, really close, right? Some of the time we were up at halftime, big, maybe squandered those leads. But a lot of these teams in the Sunset League, we've led multiple times throughout the regular season in both matchups against them, with the exception of CDM, which was just tonight. So, the Sailors have put together efforts. They haven't always been able to put together 4 quarters, but they certainly should have been able to show the selection committee that, boy, do they belong.
Absolutely. Some of Newport Harbor's league losses they're going to really want back. Lost by 1 off of a late 3 from Huntington Beach. Lost a big lead to Fountain Valley the first go-around and lost by 2. Lost a big lead to Edison and had Josh, one of their star players, score 46 points on them. Just a lot of games they would like to have back. The Marina game, the second go-around. The Fountain Valley game, the second go-around. This game, this Newport Harbor team definitely deserves a lot of credit from their effort. Just shows the Sunset League is just so good top to bottom. Even the worst team can have its best game. That's why you got to put a lot of respect on the Sunset League, night in and night out. Any final thoughts before we close this one off, Josh?
I mean, just like you just said, man, I'm the baseball coach here, seeing a lot of football being played back before they did football-only conferences, knowing our water polo team. I mean, the Sunset League tonight was just another example, seeing how talented Corona Del Mar is at basketball, but seeing Newport Harbor and the environment with the tar pit able to come out and keep that game close. I mean, the Sunset League, you could write down all the sports on a sheet of paper, throw a dart, and you're going to hit a sport that is one of the top leagues in Southern California anytime you look at any of these sports in the Sunset League.
And that'll do it for this broadcast for Josh and I. Thank you ever so much for tuning in to our final winter broadcast of the winter sports season. We appreciate all the support from you all. It really means the world to us, not just from Josh and I, but for everyone here at TAR TV. It means a lot. Thank you for all of your support. Hope to see you soon. Once again, for Tar TV Sports, I am Taryn Rodriguez alongside Mr. Josh Lee. Be sure to follow Tar TV Sports on Instagram at Tar TV Sports for our full broadcast schedule and updates on our up-and-coming coverage. Catch us next time in the near future, spring season, for more Newport Harbor sports. Thank you for spending your evening here with us in this Battle of the Bay boys basketball match between Newport Harbor and Corona Mar. From everyone here at Tar TV Sports and to our friends and family watching at home, thank you for being here with us. Good night from Newport Beach, and we will see you on the other side.
I need water.
Yeah.